Okay, so example 2 is the second type of problem that you might run into here with circles. Example 1 was your basic, here's the thing, find the area and the perimeter. Example 2, a little bit different here because they're starting you off with the circumference. And yes, of course, you don't have a diagram. You could always draw a diagram, though. There's nothing stopping you from drawing a circle. Yours doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. Keeping in mind that when we're talking about that circumference would be that outside distance. So all the way around the circle is that 30.15929 centimeters. If you go all the way around that circle, that's the best kind of diagram I can do there. But anyways, the important thing is that you see circumference, and immediately a circumference formula, or both of them, should be jumping into your head, or you should be writing them down. So circumference equals pi times diameter, or circumference equals 2 pi r. Or pi r squared, or pi r2, sorry. All right, now, based on what the question's asking here, it's asking me to find the radius. That's the piece I'm missing. That's what I want. Therefore, the circumference formula that would make the most sense to use would again be the circumference formula that involves the radius. So you could still use the other one and find the diameter and then just know that you need to take that diameter and cut it in half to get the radius, which you can absolutely do, but this formula will take care of that for you. Okay, so in for the circumference, we have that 30 and 15929 equals pi stays pi, 2 stays as 2, and r actually stays as r because that's the piece that we're looking for. I'm just going to switch that out to be the blue. All right, so again, important here, when we are talking about this, when we're dealing with pi here, you always want to deal with the pi last. Deal with pi last. Don't deal with the ugly decimal until the very, very end. It'll make your life a lot easier. Oh, and we need to add in the directions here that we're going to round to the nearest whole number, because I forgot to put those rounding directions in. Okay. So remember here that pi is not a variable. Pi is just a number, not a variable. It's tempting to look at that symbol and think that it's a variable, but it's not. It's not a letter, it's a number. So it's not an English letter. Okay, so we're solving for r. What's preventing the r from being by itself? The pi and the 2. We just said that we want to deal with the pi last, which means that we need to deal with the 2. Getting rid of the 2 that's being multiplied by r, I'm going to do by dividing both sides by 2, leaving me with pi r on the other side and 15.079645 on this side. Now I can deal with the pi because it's the last thing preventing the r from being by itself. Dividing that 15 point whatever number by pi in your calculator is going to give you 4.8000084 or something along those lines. And that is my radius. Now practice rounding to the nearest whole number. Remember, whole number means no decimals. So basically it's the ones place. Oops. So ones place here is my 4, which tells me to look at the 8. That 8 tells me to round up for a radius that is equal to 5 centimeters. And there we have it, humans.